In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 traits of extremely attractive people, with extremely attractive energy that will make you irresistible if you apply it in your own life. Now, there's certain things about every person that you meet that make them either attractive, and it either magnetizes them to you or repels them away from you. And in the same way, you have the ability to embody both non-attached magnetic energy that literally becomes irresistible to the people that you want it to be irresistible to as well, because you can become irresistible to narcissists. That's not necessarily a good thing. So this is about understanding that a magnet can both attract and repel based on its polarity. And the key to this is understanding that based on the energy you are embodying, you are either going to attract or repel based on what that energy is. Everything in life is a reflection of your energy. Now, on the other side of that non-attached energy, there is attached energy, there is needy energy that literally repels people from you. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 traits that make up that of non-attached magnetic energy and extremely attractive people. And now understand this as well. Sometimes with attractiveness, we think, oh, it's all about looks. Energy is what is really at the core of this. So of course there's a certain level with biology and everything and symmetry, and you know, it'd be foolish to say that there's no impact on that at all. However, the degree to be magnetic, to have your energy be that way, makes a huge difference. And that's really what attraction is all about. It's about energy. It's about polarity. It is about that magnetism that comes from the inside out. Now, the first thing to realize, and the first one I want to share with you that is one of the most important values to have that make up your identity for you to really be magnetic and irresistible, is having that of something called vulnerability. Vulnerability. Now, you look at that and say, well, isn't vulnerability to be weak? Doesn't that mean that you're like showing the weak parts of yourself by being vulnerable? And it's actually pretty much the exact opposite. Being vulnerable means you have courage. Being vulnerable, it takes vulnerability to walk up to the man or woman that you're attracted to, or the non-binary person or whatever. Whenever you see somebody that you're attracted to and you go and you talk to them, that takes courage. That takes vulnerability. That takes you putting yourself out there. And there is a chance that you could get rejected. And if you have the ability to do it anyways, that shows not only the real you and your real interest, but that shows that you have courage. And it is attractive. Now, for me, for a long time, I would hide my vulnerability because I valued other people's approval and validation over vulnerability. Now, what this means is I would try to change my own center of gravity to make other people happy. This meant I was afraid of showing what I really thought and how I really felt. If I was dating someone, sometimes they wouldn't find out that I was like, I wanted to date them until like months into what would be considered dating. They'd wonder, like I've had times where they literally wonder, like, is he sexually attracted to me? Does he like me? And really it was like I was almost putting myself into a friend zone because it felt safer than the chance of getting rejected. And then I'd have fucked up polarity. My polarity would be like, I wouldn't be in my own masculine energy. I'd be like, oh, is everything okay? I'd be always tuning myself. What I eventually had to do, though, to be vulnerable meant I expressed the real me. And then what happened is when I started, there was a switch for me when I was dating, where I was like, wait, I'm going to start to express the real me. I'm going to say what I want. I'm not going to hold myself back. If I have feelings for someone, I'm going to express them. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be vulnerable. That changed everything. Because then my focus was on expressing the real me versus on impressing someone and making them feel a certain way, getting their validation or approval. So vulnerability is literally the ability to show your wound. And it doesn't mean that you're like, oh, like you're always crying, it's like everything's always wrong. Vulner means wound, ability means ability to go into the wound. So for vulnerability, what this really means is it means the ability to like express and to show the real you. And what that means too is if you're being in that vulnerable state, you're more likely to attract somebody that also is in that emotionally available state, because that's one thing you want to do, is you want to realize that the more you attract based on the energy you're putting out. So if you're not being vulnerable, you're going to attract somebody else that's not being vulnerable. And that means they're not being the real them and expressing that. They're afraid of showing that side of themselves. Normally it's shame. It's a belief I'm broken or something wrong with me. I can't show this because I'm going to get rejected. When in fact, if you did show it, you'd be more attractive, which is very funny. Now, one thing as well, if you weren't aware, is that the Magnetic Mastery membership is now open for enrollment. It's open until this Friday, and you can join this. This is a community of like-minded people that are all focused on creating the most non-attached magnetic energy from the inside out. We do that by meeting every single week via Zoom. We do accountability calls and coaching calls so that we can transform our energy from the inside out. And now is the best time to join, because now is the founding members launch. That means if you join, you're one of the first people to join. And that also, you get in at the lowest price you'll ever see the membership. It's only $29 a month, cancel anytime. And eventually this will be something that's like $67 to $97 a month, because it literally comes with weekly coaching. However, I'm excited to announce this right now. So if you haven't joined yet, go to magneticmastery.com, www.magneticmastery.com, or click the link below. Join before this Friday, because enrollment closes on Friday, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Now, with that being said, everything we're talking about with vulnerability, the ability to open up your heart, it's about understanding that when you are opening, really, that's honestly the key to attracting love as well. Think about it. The energy of the heart is thousands of times more powerful than the energy of the head. So when you are opening up your heart, even though sometimes it doesn't feel safe, because in the past as a kid, there were times it didn't feel safe to open up your heart or to be the real you. When you open up your heart, literally the energy expands way further than the energy around the head. The Heart Math Institute has shown this many times. And that's why I think a powerful energy exercise to do is to just, for 5 or 10 minutes in the morning and at night, to sit and to put the hands over your heart and to feel the gratitude inside of your heart, and to focus on expanding the energy in your heart. Wherever you put your attention is where your energy goes. Doing this has had a profound effect on my own life and my own sense of gratitude and just how I show up. So that is something that will help make you way more magnetic, is focusing more on your heart, opening your heart, being vulnerable, expressing yourself. You'll notice that you have more, because you're also not attached to outcome. Think about this. Needy energy, attached to outcome. It wants validation, approval, sex, whatever. So when it comes to attracting love, that's something that repels. On the other side, this one is focused more on being in the moment. This one is more focused on expression. It's more tuned to the own energy versus tuning to other people's energy. It changes everything. So that is the first part of this, is understanding the power of vulnerability and open up your heart. The second part of this is one of the most powerful techniques I've ever shared. It's called the frame technique. It's bringing the energy inside of your body. When you think of somebody else, you're literally energetically sending them energy. And a lot of times, some people may be thinking of someone, they're like, I wish they would be different. I wish they would do this. I wish they would do that. And they're not doing what I want, and I need them. Needy energy repels. The key is pulling your energy back. Bringing it inside of your own hands, bringing it inside your own body, because when you do that, you then focus on being present and being in your own body. Now think of this, like when you are, and I've done this exercise many times, I've shared about it, and I've seen people go out and do it, and I get so many DMs from people, and people reach out to me, and they're like, wow, that's the most powerful thing, like the most powerful thing I've applied is doing that. Because I say, try this when you go out to Whole Foods or your grocery store or wherever you're from, you go out in public. Put the awareness in your hands and your feet and feel the separation between you and other people. As you do that, you start to feel safe in your own body. You start to feel present, because normally it's a childhood, I think, trauma where we walk around tuning to everybody else to feel safe. Our energy is being scattered. And when our energy is scattered, there's less potency. One of the things that makes you magnetic is you being safe in your own body and you feeling inside of your own body. That literally brings your energy back. And magnetic people that are not attached, they're in their own frame of reality. They're also living according to their own values. Their own values. Like, you know, I live now according to the values of vulnerability and authenticity over the values of significance, approval seeking, and validation. And how I do that is I just know it's a part of my identity. I ask myself, is expressing this the real me? Is people pleasing the real me? And I can tell that, oh, the people pleasing is this trauma thing that was formed for me to get my needs met. And I just, when in the moments I catch myself, I just don't do it. When a friend asks me to go do something and I don't want to do it, I'm abandoning myself in order to do it, I don't do it. I say no. And then as I choose myself, I then feel in my own frame, and that also communicates value. So one of the most magnetic things you could do is actually pull your energy back. Put your energy in your hands and your feet. Feel the separation between you and other people. Realize if your mom or your dad doesn't approve of you, maybe that's their shit, not yours. Friends are mad at you because you won't come to a party. Maybe if you say no, that's their shit, not yours. Their approval, their validation is not your responsibility. Even your parents, it's not your job to please your parents so that they can think about you a certain way, if that means you're abandoning yourself. For years, I thought that I had to go to college and become a lawyer because I knew that that's what my dad wanted me to do, or to become a firefighter because that's what my dad wanted me to do. I realized that wasn't my passion. And if he at all was disappointed about that, I knew that, oh, that's his shit, not mine. If I have said no to hanging out with friends or to traveling when I knew that it wasn't convenient because I had other things going on, instead of beating myself up, I realized, oh, well, if they're mad about that, that's their shit, not mine. See, this mantra alone will change your life. That's their shit, not mine. Doesn't mean you don't ever take ownership, by the way, but it means you're able to delineate what is their stuff versus what is my stuff. You still have stuff. You still have stuff to look at. Doesn't mean everything is everyone else's problem and it's their stuff to deal with. No, it means there's still going to be your own stuff to look at, but it also means you're able to delineate, because as kids, as empaths, we tune ourselves to our environment, and sometimes we see that line gets a little bit blurred. So that makes a big difference. Now, the third thing, and probably one of the most powerful magnetic traits of extremely attractive and magnetic people, is to be present, to be in the body, and to be in the moment. Like, imagine somebody goes on a date and they're like, okay, this is going to be, they don't say this consciously, like, this is going to be a very transactional date. I'm going to go on the date. They're going to think amazing things about me. I'm going to share all the cool things I'm doing in the world. And then they're going to either have sex with me, or there's going to be this awesome thing where they validate me and I'm going to feel freaking awesome. Guess what? That's manipulation. That's trying to exchange to get your needs met. But imagine someone goes on a date and they're like, you know what? I'm going to go on this date. I'm going to have fun. I'm just going to enjoy myself. I'm going to connect with this person and see if there's a connection. Even realize the questions you ask if you go on a date. If you go on a date and say, I wonder if they're going to like me. I wonder if they're going to give me their number. I wonder if this. I wonder if that. I wonder if my childhood needs are going to be met. But imagine if instead you ask yourself a different question. I wonder if we have anything in common. I wonder what this person's values are. Do we have similar values? I wonder if I'm going to like this person. I wonder if I'm going to get along with this person. I wonder if I'm going to be sexually attracted to this person. I wonder if we have great polarity. Those questions are coming from a place of power. They're not coming from a place of I hope, please, meet my needs. They're very different. So being present to the moment is about focusing on the present moment of having fun, of being curious, of being in the moment, of enjoying the process. These all are traits of extremely magnetic people. And also, I think doing what you love is a powerful part of this too. Being the real you. Be proud to be yourself. That's really the key. The funny thing about attracting love is really the answer is to just be yourself. Just be yourself, bro. That's what they say, in the pickup industry and stuff, that people are just be yourself, bro. And they're what do you mean? Well, is it myself to be this nice guy, people pleaser guy? Or is it myself to be vulnerable and open up my heart and to, this one feels more familiar. And the thing is, you have to become aware of that and then say, oh, that's not the real me. That's the trauma-based me that lived in that pattern because it feels safe. And then make the choice to be the real you, which may not feel familiar at first, but it changes everything the more that you begin to embody it. So with that, if you haven't also joined Magnetic Mastery membership that I was mentioning early, now's the time to do it. I wanted to remind you at the end of this video too, because I know sometimes people watch the videos and then wait to the end. Enrollment ends on Friday for that. Also, there's a video on the 5 traits of extremely attractive people where we go even deeper on this. Watch this video next. Watch how it changes your life and wires all these ideas in. These are the 5 traits of extremely magnetic people. So people that you perceive to have very contagious energy, energy that kind of pulls you in, makes you desire more, makes them in a way irresistible. I'm going to show you what those 5